Good morning, I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching, it is appreciated as always. The Uni Party needs to be taken down. I've said this hundreds of times on this channel and I'll continue to plug this point. The story I've got for you today is a prime example of this, which I'm going to get into in a moment or two. Do all the good stuff, like and subscribe and comment if you agree, or even if you disagree. All opinions are valid. So firstly, I'm going to bring up this. Nigel Farage and Reform UK will launch a legal challenge over the government's decision to delay May's mayoral elections next year. The latest polling in these areas suggests that Reform candidates would likely win every single seat. So, no prizes for guessing why they've cancelled the elections. It's nothing to do with restructuring, it's nothing to do with anything like that. Lest we forget, after World War II, Britain was bombed to bits. Many of the major cities, London, Glasgow, Liverpool, whatnot, were bombed to smithereens during the Blitz. We were still being rationed, the country was bankrupt, empire was decommissioning, and yet within 2 months of World War II ending, we had a general election, and one of our best prime ministers, our wartime leader Winston Churchill, was unceremoniously kicked out of office 2 months after World War II ended. That's how we thanked Winston. I always thought that was quite funny. Anyway, the point is, we arranged a general election in the United Kingdom 2 months after a major war, the war to end all wars. And now they're saying because of some structural rearrangement locally, they can't do an election for 2 years. Nah, I'm calling BS on that. BS on that completely. Then we'll go into the article a little bit here. Nigel Farage is set to launch a legal challenge over the government's decision to postpone elections for powerful new regional mayors. These delays have been branded electoral fraud, and Labour was accused of putting off the votes as it feared a series of Reform victories. And Mr Farage said today, "We are actively pursuing a judicial review against action against the government over yet another attempt to delay elections where they fear Reform will win." Labour's plans to cancel even more votes this year than last year must be challenged, and I completely agree. The ruling Labour government can't be allowed to get away with this in any way, shape or form. The article continues. His party has instructed a KC, a senior barrister, who will consider whether the government's decision is legal. The party source says Reform believe had a strong chance of getting a court to look at the case. Local Government Secretary Steve Reid has delayed elections in 4 regions until 2028, even though candidates have been chosen and campaigning is underway for polls previously due next May. And then it goes on here. Let's just have a look at this one here. Kemi Badenoch, the leader of the opposition. This is the second time Labour have cancelled elections. Democracy isn't optional. We will oppose this at every step. This is what the Tories put out when the announcement was made that these elections were going to be postponed. They've changed their tune. It's been reported online that the Conservative Party have rejected Nigel Farage's proposal to mount a legal challenge against Labour's decision to postpone mayoral elections until 2028. This is the Uni Party in action. This is exactly what I've said previously. The Tories put in the online safety bill. Labour implement it. The Tories made it possible for foreigners with multiple spouses to claim benefits in the 90s, and now Labour are getting the flack for it. Then you have the OBR, the thing that ties the Chancellor's hands and they can't do anything imaginative with the economy. That was brought in by Osborne, George Osborne that is, under David Cameron's government, and that essentially ties the Chancellor's hands and the country's hands. They're in lockstep with each other, both the Tories and the Labour Party, and this is what we are resisting against. So the Tories have rejected it. They've rejected the legal challenge, and they've done it because they're broadly in support of all of Labour's policies. Officially, they'll turn around and say we'll oppose it because they're in opposition. They can't do anything to change it. So, for example, the farmers' tax, this family farm tax, I'll use that as an example. The Labour Party have implemented the policy. The Tories have said that they'll reverse it. Have they said they'll make good on the farmers that have suffered in the meantime? Have they said they're going to retroactively compensate people and do restorative justice for these farmers? No, they've not said that. They just said they'll change the policy if they get in again. That doesn't do anything for the damage that's been done. What about the damage that needs to be repaired? And then you look at the actual polling in the areas. Okay, you've got the Hampshire and the Solent, Grazer Essex, Sussex and Brighton, and Norfolk and Suffolk. Every single one of them, Reform UK was going to win. So expect the party smears against Reform UK to continue. Expect that from the legacy media. Expect that from the Tories, and expect that from the Labour Party and the Lib Dems. They'll continue to do this, and they'll continue to beat this drum. And they're going to do this specifically, and the only reason they're going to do it is they've got no policies, they've got no imagination that the government, so the country can actually get behind. So all they've got to do, or try to do, is smear Nigel and smear Reform UK. That's the only card they've got to play. They've got nothing else to play. They haven't made any inroads in Brexit. They've not actually implemented Brexit in anything like it was meant to be implemented. We've got no freedoms to do anything like this. So it's an absolute farce. Now, as always, your mileage may vary. You may think that I'm overstating things. You may think I'm completely correct. All opinions are valid, and I'd like you to comment, like and subscribe if you think you find value in this video and you think I'm onto something. If not, as I say, let me know. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Let me know, do you think Nigel has a chance? Do you think Reform should be taking the government to court over this? I sure do. This is the thing that we need to preserve, or try to preserve. This is the thing the establishment don't want. They think democracy isn't something that needs to be implemented. They think democracy is something that needs to be managed. I appreciate your time. Have a good day.